Episode 804. He teleported to Maoshan City, then asked for Shi Jiyang's location. When Invincible Scholar arrived, he spotted a team from Tyrannical Ambition's fourth branch. Joyful Sheep was among them, and upon seeing Invincible Scholar approach, he quickly waved him over. As he drew closer, Ye Shu took in their gleaming gear and knew at once this wasn't Shi Jiyang's group, still grinding through medium difficulty dungeons. These were likely the elite members of Tyrannical Ambition's 4th Division.
Dangxin, Feiyang, Fenshan.
Over on this side, Shen Guo was already watching Ye Shu's screen and letting out a sigh of admiration.
Oh, you know them all?
Of course I know them. They're from Tyrannical Ambition.
Shen Guo said this as a former member of the Jade Dynasty. Overlord's might was their sworn enemy. Wasn't there a saying? The one who knows you best is sometimes your enemy.
Oh, the roaming wind hall.
Ye Shu turned the camera, and Chen Guo spotted another figure, letting out a startled cry.
Huh? Who's this?
Ye Shu's gaze settled on this person, an elementalist.
You don't know that? That's the Guildmaster of Tyrannical Ambition.
Oh, impressive. I'm more familiar with their branch leader in the 10th server.
Yufeng Hall was Jiang Yu's main account in the Heavenly Domain, the true identity of the Hegemon Atlas Guild's guild leader. Ye Shu had actually crossed paths with him plenty of times back in the 10th server, in all sorts of messy situations, but he basically never paid it any mind. Ye Shu saw no difference between Night Tide's Cold Pond and Jiang Yu. A guild like Drifting Cloud Hall had long since outgrown the need for titles above their names. In the eyes of glory players, the presidents of these top guilds were nearly as famous as pro players, household names, every one of them. So Yufeng Hall's name didn't have any guild leader title hanging over it, unlike many other guild masters. Ye Shu guided Unreveled Super Hunk over, and Joyous Lamb was already making introductions. Who was this? Who was that? And who was that other one? Everyone had some kind of decoration next to their ID, just like how in real life, when you introduce someone, you always mention their job or position. But when some of those titles were strung together, they sounded pretty ridiculous to Ye Shu. For example, First Knight of the 4th branch of Tyrannical Ambition. That's way too many modifiers, but you can't drop a single one. Drop Tyrannical Ambition, and you lose the prestige. Drop 4th branch, and it's factually inaccurate. Ye Shu let out an O for each one, stringing them along until the end, when he finally summed it up.
Hello everyone.
With Jiang Yu's roaming wind hall leading the charge, this crew's gear was top tier in the online game world. Equipment was a status symbol in itself. Whether it was the dignified guild leader of tyrannical dominance, or the top knight of a branch guild, if they were to wear gear of the same caliber as Invincible Handsome, they'd look like they were dressed down in real life, failing to show their status.
Invincible Most Handsome, huh? That name's got some flavor. Reminds me of someone I used to know. Called himself Invincible Most Lonely. Haven't seen him in ages though. Guess he really did go off to be lonely.
The first to speak was Flying Feather, who bore the title of top knight of the 4 divisions of Tyrannical Ambition. Though his words seemed like a joke, they already revealed a hidden hostility toward Invincible and Handsome. This came as no surprise. Men like Seven Leaf Flower, the kind-hearted and accommodating sort. In online games, such people are actually extremely rare. The gaming world is a place where even the urge to compare and compete gets ruthlessly quantified. In the new servers, everyone compares levels. Once they reach the Heavenly Domain and levels are no longer a contest, they compare gear, then stats, then skill trees, then technique. Experience, dungeon progress, arena records, anything and everything could be compared, had to be compared. In a world so obsessed with one-upmanship, unless the gap was truly insurmountable, it was rare for anyone to truly submit to another. Take Feiyang or Chiei's Shua, and before them, Kuido. They were all the top MTs in their teams. In a way, they stood at the very peak, and from that height, it was even harder for them to acknowledge anyone else's skill. Someone like Seven Leaf Flower, who was so honest and straightforward, was the real exception. Most players were like Chris P., full of disdain for anyone in the same class who was called a pro. They just showed it differently. Chris P. was more childish, more naive about it. Fei Yang, on the other hand, came across as more worldly. He clearly understood that Wudi Zuijunlang was someone the guild leader had personally brought in, and now the overall guild leader, Yu Fengdian, had even shown up in person, which meant this recruit's background was even more significant. Making things too difficult for Wudi Zuijunlang would be a slap in the face to the guild leader himself. That would be a slap in the guild leader's face as well. In a massive guild run almost like a corporation, the higher up a player climbed, the less they could treat it as just a game. This place was full of its own social intricacies and unspoken rules. As for the guild leaders themselves, they were far from the babysitter-type roles found in ordinary player guilds. Though they often put on that facade, anyone with eyes could see just how much authority a guild leader of this caliber truly wielded.
The invincible are the loneliest. What class?
Fei Yang's thinly veiled jab was met with nothing more than Ye Shu's offhand reply.
Profession? It's been so long, I've forgotten it by now.
Fei Yang paused, then answered with reasonable composure.
Oh, is that so?
Ye Shu said, and even sent a smiling emoji. Fei Yang was instantly dejected. The ultimate loneliness, as if he actually knew someone like that. He just saw the name, Invincible and Most Handsome, and made up a little joke on the spot to poke fun at the guy's arrogance. But when he was asked about his class, he couldn't answer. He just gave a sly grin, as if mocking the question's pointlessness.
I've heard about your skills for a while now, finally getting to see them in person.
With Shi Zhiyang as the introducer and Fei Yang handling the opening remarks, the next to speak was Zhang Yu, the highest-ranking person in the room. As for the fourth branch's guild leader, he didn't even get a chance to speak this time. A small detail, yet it laid bare the clear hierarchy and tangled relationships among the guild members.
The rumors you heard are the real deal.
That's right, that's right.
Most people, hearing him be so immodest, would have bristled on the spot. Zhang Yu, who wasn't exactly known for having a good temper, was all smiles now, leaving Fei Yang completely baffled. He wasn't from headquarters, but he knew enough about the guild leader to place him, not as cold and hard as Tyranny's Han Wenqing, but definitely cut from the same cloth. He had never heard of the guild leader being so humble and eager to recruit talent, so what on earth was wrong with the guild leader today?